Right guys, Gaft is back to share a magical experience with you. I'm working on a site in Oxford at the moment, and every dinner time I'm going into the canteen to show the ground workers. There's about 6 guys, family outfit actually, some magic. And oh my god, they are the best spectators, crowd, whatever you want to call it, I've ever had. Every time I'm doing a trick, they're like screaming, laughing, like, well, the hell? It's brilliant. That's the sort of crowd you want. And I showed them one of my favourite tricks, one of my favourite go-to tricks. You've seen it before, guys. It's a trick when you sort of say, have you ever seen what's the difference between a professional and an amateur magician? Now, I've done this trick a lot of times, and I cocked up the first bit. But let me show you. I'll give you a run through of what's happening as I'm doing it. So you say, do you know what's the difference between a professional and amateur magician? They obviously say no. You say, right, the amateur might give the card a shuffle, and he'll get you to take a card, so take anyone you want. Let's say it's the King of Hearts. Now, when the guy took the card, he saw it. Obviously, I didn't see it. I placed it back into the pack, and I was attempting to control it to the top. It was here. But when I put this on top, I fumbled a bit, and all this shit went on the floor. The cards, none of them turned face up, but they were not like this. They were scattered all over the floor, and I thought, oh shit. So I picked them up, hoping the top card was the king. Oh, it was the king, but in my situation, it was not the king. I didn't know at this point. I then said, the way the professional does it, he doesn't get you to pick a card, he just gets you to look at a card. So as I riffle down, call out stop, remember this card. So I showed him the Queen of Hearts. Well, that's a bit weird, isn't it? What you're going to do is then, when you put the cards back together, you're going to catch a break. You're going to pick up the top portion at that break. You're going to swing cut half of the top. You're going to take this middle packet, which contains their card. You're going to take it in your left hand, and then you're going to drop everything on top. Now, if the first part of the trick had have worked, this would have been the King of Hearts, and this was the Queen of Hearts. And then I said, the way the amateur and the professional reveal the cards is slightly different. The amateur might give the cards a bit of a cut, a fake cut, and in that process, bring one card to the top. Now, as you're saying that, you're going to get a pinky pull down on the bottom card, turn it into a thumb break. You're then going to swing cut the top portion and point to this card and turn it over. Now, this should have been the King of Hearts, but it wasn't. And they said, no, it wasn't. And I placed it on the table. But what I've done is switched it out, because I've dropped that card and I dropped it on the table. And I said, that is the difference between the professional and the amateur magician. The amateur cocks it up. Brilliant. They were laughing. They thought it was a cock up. And to be fair, guys, it was a cock up. I should have showed them the king. But because the way the trick is set out, you're saying, what's the difference between a professional and an amateur? The amateur cocking up added to the trick, because when I said the way the professional reveals the cards, he doesn't do any of these fancy cuts, he just points to this one. Now, they all looked a bit amazed at this card, especially when I turned it over, and it was the Queen of Hearts. So guys, when a trick goes wrong, you can rectify it, and oh my god, the reactions I got from these guys was brilliant. So I've got a few more tricks to take tomorrow. I'm going to take my nut and bolt. I'm going to take the flick wallet. And I've got my a couple of ESP tricks I'm going to take. They're a fantastic crowd. So that was a trick, guys. It got a great reaction because I managed to recover at the end. So make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the Gaft Academy, and we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.